Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Cybuchowo. But before that, this video is brought to you by Peter Does Farming and Darren Cassell. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Cybuchowo map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now this map is fairly large at 505 megabytes in size, but I can tell you that this map has a whole lot packed into it. We've got a ton of fields, we've got a ton of new crops, we've got a ton of new productions, and 3 farms included. Let's go ahead and read the description. Welcome to Cybuchowo, a small village among fields and forests waiting for a new farmer like you. This map contains 193 fields, 221 areas for purchase, a BGA, sawmill, several selling stations. In fact, I counted up 14. Fuel station, 3 farms, a football pitch or soccer field for us Americans, 13 additional crops. Those additional crops include rye, triticale, spelt, alfalfa, clover, mustard, buckwheat, flax, green rye, corn for silage, rye for vetch, field grass, and mustard for catch crop. In addition, there are new productions in blueberries, blueberry cake, blueberry milk, blueberry jam, blueberry juice, cream, pumpkins, pumpkin cake, mustard, buckwheat, groats. I really don't know what that is. Love to know down in the comments. OSB boards, wood pellets, linseed oil, and dried mushrooms. A lot of production points. There are 12 pre-placed, and of course, several that you can place on your own from the build menu. Many new factories available in the store, as I've just mentioned. New greenhouses also adapted for production of blueberries and pumpkins. Changed cultivation periods for wheat, barley, and oats. So we do have a custom growth calendar on the map, not only including the new crops, but for existing crops. We have compatibility with precision farming. In fact, this map does have a custom soil map. We'll be taking a look at that here in a moment. The ability to get straw from sorghum, corn, rapeseed, and soybeans. A new type of straw with flax straw, which can be used in the spinning mill. Lots of forest areas, missions for transporting wood, destroying stones, and removing dead wood. Varied terrain, details in autumn and winter, such as snowmen and leaf mounds. New collectibles, there are custom collectibles, 62 of them on the map, and much, much more. The map author goes on to list several folks that he wishes to thank for his support. And with all of that said, let's jump back over here to the map. And I have to say, we're getting some pretty nice maps coming out as of late. In fact, if I didn't just commit myself to another new map, this might be one in the running. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. I know I've kind of got a thing for Polish style maps, and that is exactly what we have here. Now this map is a little bit smaller than standard size. If we put this down here in the corner, and we can imagine that our PDA typically would extend over here and then up to the top, we're probably looking at about a 90% map. So it's a little bit smaller than standard, but not a whole lot. As I mentioned, we have all of our standard crops available to us, but we also have the alfalfa, rye, spelt, triticale, clover, mustard, flax, buckwheat, field grass, silage, maize, green rye, vetch rye, and mustard as a cover crop. It would be interesting to know, wasn't really mentioned in the description, if we plant mustard as a cover crop, just like we do with our oilseed radish, will we get a incentive, a subsidy come February with precision farming? We've had some other maps drop recently or dropping soon, thanks to a preview I've got, that have vetch rye as a cover crop. So I'd be curious if this is also a cover crop or acts as a standard crop. Now I mentioned we have a custom soil map. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. You can see we have huge sections here of sandy loam to the west and extending down kind of towards the central southern region. We have a big section of loam to the direct north, as well as a bit over here to the west and southeast. We've got a bit of silty clay all the way here to the northeast along the eastern side and here in the middle of the map. And then we've got a little splotch of sandy loam here as well down toward the south. So very interesting soil map. Most of our fields are going to be a single soil type or maybe two different soil types mixed together. So not a super complex soil map, but one that I could really get into. With respect to our farmlands, our starting farm is right here in the western side, but kind of central to the map. That's going to be farmland ID 218. Should we choose to not own the farm at the start, the farm will be built out exactly how we see it here. We just obviously won't own the land, nor will we have any starting machinery. We could buy this for $289,940. But if we flag, yes, I do want to own the starting farm, well, then we also own several fields, including a forest area 201, field 81, 76, 77, 95, 82, and 83. Now, as far as the other two farms, oh, and by the way, this is going to be for cows and chickens. As far as the other two farms go, well, one can be found here at farmland ID 219. It is going to be a pig farm. We can buy that for $115,000. Then the third farm is over here in the eastern side of the map. It's going to be farmland ID 220, and it is going to be an arable farm for $175,000. We also have a BGA at farmland ID 221. Let's go ahead and take a look at this custom crop counter. Of course, we have all of our crops that have been added to the map listed here as well. But you can see what we have going on with barley. We have not only our traditional autumn planting season, and we have our summer harvest season. We can also plant barley in March and April. That's also going to continue with respect to our oats and our wheat. So we do have custom growth there. Then, of course, we have all the other crops that have been worked into this crop calendar. As far as our starting animals go, we do start out with a chicken coop and cow barn, but we do not have any animals at the start. And we do, as the description said, we do have contracts on the map. Now, let's take a look at productions. We start out by not owning any productions, and then there are a total of 12 productions pre-placed on the map, including the biogas plant. Here at the bakery, well, we can make blueberry cakes with regular flour or rice flour. We have the ability, obviously, to make cream cakes as well, or pumpkin pie. We have a blueberry processor, which is going to be able to make blueberry jam, juice, and grape juice. We have our dairy for blueberry milk, okay? And then all of the other normal dairy stuff. We have our grain mill where we can make buckwheat groats, buckwheat flour, as well as rye flour, spelt, triticale, and then we look over here to our local carpenter. We have furniture, buckets, bathtubs, and barrels. Our spinnery is going to be able to make not only fabric from cotton and wool, but also from flax straw. And we also have the ability to make rope from cotton, wool, and flax straw. Our tailor is going to take that fabric into clothing. Our oil mill, we have flax oil as a new oil type that has been added here. We have then our sawmill, our sugar mill, and our wood chip processor. We're going to be able to make OSB boards and wood pellets. With respect to sell points, I counted up 14 different sell points scattered around the map. And of course, we're going to run down through our vehicles here in a moment. We do not start well with any hand tools. And as I mentioned, we have 62 collectibles. When I did go around and kind of hunt down some of the collectibles, I didn't look for all 62, but I did find a few, and they were golden horseshoes. And when you pick up your first one, it makes reference to these must be the horseshoes that the horse farmer is talking about. Now, I've looked, and I have yet to find where this horse farmer might be. Maybe we'll find it as we kind of look around the map. Maybe it's a little hidden secret. And if you know where the horse farmer is that you can talk to, talks about these golden horseshoes, I'd love to know. With that said, let's take a look here at our starting fleet in our garage menu. We start out with the Kubota Sidekick side by side. We also have the Zetor HSX 130 small tractor and the John Deere 3650 small tractor. In the medium tractor category, we have the Fiat 180 DT90. We've got the FarmTech EDK 650 trailer. In fact, we have a pair of the EDK 650 trailers. We have the Amazon cultivator and the Agrimaz POV 5XL plow. For our seeding, we have the Una Felix 3003 seeder. And let's take a look back here at our seeder. You can see the crops that this is going to be able to add. Lots of the new crops are going to be listed here under seeders. The other crops that aren't shown here at the bottom, you're obviously going to need to use the planter, or they're going to be things specific to greenhouses. We've got the Mega 1200L Hardy sprayer. That's going to be for herbicide and liquid fertilizer, of course. And the Goric Puler 800 weeder. As far as our harvester goes, we start with the Massey Ferguson 8570 starting harvester with the 8570 header and header trailer. We have the Gouville G1 F125 round baler, and then the Tesla 144 ND wood transport trailer, and we wrap it all up with a 650 and 1250 kilogram front weight. With respect to mods and DLCs, this map does not have any custom vehicles or implements. But what we do have in build mode is we do have some custom factories and greenhouses. We can also scroll down through here and see if we have some custom sheds as well. We do indeed. So I did go ahead and test selling all three of the farms, and I was completely successful in selling all the buildings at all three of the farms. And it looks like we can also place all the buildings that we can sell here at the farms, which is always a really nice detail. We look here at our factories. We do have some custom factories that are able to be placed. We have our wood chip processing plant. We have a blueberry processing point and mustard processor. We also have a small custom spinnery that again is going to take that flax straw. We have an oil mill that's going to take the custom oil. Our grain mill customized. We have a customized bakery and a customized dairy as well. Here we have the mushroom dryer. I don't believe that this production is placed anywhere on the map at the start. As far as our greenhouses go, well, we have a blueberry greenhouse that's also equipped for growing pumpkins. With respect to ground textures, we do have a few custom ground textures that have been added to the map. And it looks like we do have a large assortment of trees. Looks like maybe all the farm sim trees have been added to the map here. And then we've got our standard assortment of plants and shrubbery. I'm just going to tab over to our starting farm area. Let's pull up the PDA and just kind of make our way back to the farm. We have our harvester staged here, our Zetor with our two trailers. And here we have our farm. So a nice little shed here with some machinery stored in it. And again, as I mentioned, all of these sheds can be sold. We have our farmhouse. What's up, Walter? Sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger. We have our chickens. We're going to be able to do a total of 50 chickens in the coop. So we have our egg spawn point there. We have our food trough. We're going to have 40 cows in the cow barn. So we have our food trough. Our straw trigger is going to be there. Slurry, milk. I thought maybe we could go up there. Maybe somebody's willing to put a little bit more time in it than me. More machinery, right? There we have our side-by-side. We have our silo, so we have our dump point, we have our fill point. And that, folks, that's pretty much the starting farm. So here we have the starting farm. Then we've got an assortment of starting fields. Our starting forest is right here. We own this field right below. This field right here. And of course the field that we have staged for harvest. Field right beside it. And this field right here are all owned at the start. Now let's make our way over to the second farm, which is going to be our pig farm. I've gone ahead and purchased that as well. So here we have the pig farm with some sheds. We have our farmhouse with our sleep and wardrobe trigger. Again, everything can be sold at this farm. Nice storage. Around the back, we have our pig barn. 70 pigs available in this pig area. We have our straw. We have our food in here. And then we have our slurry point, right? Some sheds. Going on, and that's about it for the pig farm. Pretty basic. Pretty straightforward. Now, if we make our way across the map, we're going to come over here to Farmland ID 220. And that's going to be what I'm classifying as an arable farm because it has no animals pre-placed. So here we have Farmland ID 220. We have our farmhouse. Our sleep and wardrobe triggers. Some sheds. And that's pretty much it for this particular farmland. Now, I think this map would be pretty interesting in a multiplayer format because we have plenty of fields, as we typically do on Polish maps. These fields can be easily merged together for the most part by just taking out a few trees. And then we have lots of land, again, so people can kind of spread out, but at the same time, come together and work for common good when it comes time for harvest. We make our way across the map now. We're going to find the biogas plant, which I've also gone ahead and purchased. That way we can see where all of these triggers are going to pop. 2 pull-through silage bunkers. We have our digester there, our interactive icon, our dump point for our slurry, and our pickup point for our digestate. Pretty straightforward indeed. And we also get a general gist of the lay of the land here, as we can see the ebb and flow of the fields. And you may have noticed already that this map runs really well. In fact, I was really impressed with how it ran on my low-end test system, which is, of course, using AMD integrated graphics, very similar to what you might find in a Windows-based gaming handheld. I was seeing frames using my custom medium graphics settings, which I do have a video posted about. I was seeing frames in the 45 plus category, which after you factor in the suggested frame gen that I have turned on those custom medium settings, we're looking at 90 FPS plus. Extremely smooth, extremely good gameplay. This map should play very well on literally just about anything that can run Farm Sim 25. And with that said, let's now kind of shift gears a little bit and take a look at the various sell points and the productions. And there are quite a few. So let's maybe try to make our way counterclockwise around the map. Just south of the starting farm. We're going to come to this location, and this is going to be our sawmill. So we have a wood chip sell point, and then we have our sawmill production. So here we have the wood chip sell point and also wood chip bales. We have our interactive icon there, our wood cell trigger, we have our dump point for our logs, and we have our pallet spawn point. Just to the east a bit of our sawmill, we're going to come over to another production point. This is going to be our wood chip processor. Remember, the wood chip processor is going to make the OSB boards and the wood pellets. So our dump point, our pallet point, our interactive point. Further to the east, we're going to come across the pig farm, which we've already taken a look at. And now we're coming into the town area. In the town, we're going to have our blueberry processor. It's right here. If we follow this road, it's going diagonally. We're going to come over here to our bakery. We have our interactive icon there at the front door. We move over here to a bale sell point. And then we've got Farmer Ben just kind of hanging around if you want a little bit of advice. We make our way around the bend to the south. We're going to come over to another production point. This is going to be the local tailor. Right, so this is what's going to take our fabric and flip it into clothing. Further down the road to the south, between fields 120 and 123, we're going to have two sell points. We have a root crop sell point, and we have the grain elevator. So root crop sell point is here on the right, and our grain elevator sell point is on the left. We make our way now up the the eastern side of the map. I do like how we have low points here. All the land is coming down here to the central low point, where we do have a pond of water. Really nicely done. Just south of field 151, we have the local spinner. This is what's going to be making our fabric. Again, what we can bring our flax straw to make fabric or rope. We wind our way down this windy road into the forest. We also now have a sell point for wood chips at the Forest Rangers Lodge and a wood sell point at the Forest Rangers Lodge. Wood chips on the right, logs on the left. We have our arable farm that I mentioned. Continue to wind our way around the main road here. Got a fair bit going on. We have our dairy production. To the north, we have kind of an AI farmer. Maybe this is the horse farmer. There's horses here. Oh, man. I gotta talk to David? Let's see what happens.
Hey there, neighbor.
All right.
I'm David.
All right.
Call
all
me
right,
Dave if you want
all right,
to.
All right.
Don't
No,
have
I don't.
to.
I don't want to. Stop. Stop. All right. He doesn't seem to be talking about what I hoped he was talking about. But at any rate, at David's farm, we have a grain selling point. We also have a bale sell point. We have a root crop sell point, and we have a purchase point for manure and liquid manure. All of that here at this AI farm. I like this concept of using an AI farm for various sell points and buy points. But it would have been nice if we had kind of a custom dialogue with the guy up here to maybe give us those hints about those horseshoes. Then again, maybe that guy is somewhere else. We have seen with some other maps, at least one other map that I definitely will remember, but I don't remember the name of. But I definitely remember we had a map where we had custom NPCs that we could go and talk to. They didn't have voiceovers, but they had custom text that would come up there that would explain kind of where certain things were accepted at a large industrial sell point area. Or one guy was standing right by your spawn point. It kind of gave you a little bit of an introduction to the map. It kind of told you where some of the possible farm areas were that you, as a new farmer to the area, might be interested in purchasing or working at. Here we have a collection of factories. We have our oil mill, we have a grain mill, we have our sugar mill, and we have a lime buy point. There's our lime purchase point. Coming kind of down the middle of the map, we finally made ourselves to the vehicle shop. So we have our vehicle dealer, we have our trigger there, we have our activation icon for our dealer maintenance trigger, and the dealer purchase point right here. Let's go ahead and pick something up. Not the quad track. Might be a little big for the map. Pick up another side-by-side and just see where things spawn right here in front of the service trigger. So a pretty decent area for things to spawn. A pretty decent area for you to get out of the shop, given the size of the fields overall. Continue to make our way down the main road. Here, kind of cutting across the middle of the map, we have a fuel point. We're also going to come over here to another kind of large sell point complex where we have the ability to sell farmers market, milk sell point, and the wood sale sell point. Another wood sale sell point there. We're making our way back into the town, which we were talking about. Right, we had our blueberry processor directly below. So we've taken a look there. We've taken a look here. We need to come over to our animal dealer. And then we have a production north of our starting farm. And then that is probably going to just about wrap it up. Cutting through the forest. We have our animal dealer. We have our animal buy point there. We've got Kate, if you want to talk to her, figure out anything about your animals. And then around the back, we're going to have a bale sell point. Continue to make our way back to the west. We're going to wrap it up at our final production on this whirlwind tour at the local carpentry. And that is Cybuchowo. Now, I would like to thank Google Translate for giving me assistance with the translation or the pronunciation of the map. If you have taken exception to my pronunciation of the map, well, you know what? I've done my best, and if my best isn't good enough, well, so what? That's the way life works. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to this particular map. What do you think of Polish maps overall? And is this map going to find its way into your mod folder? And will this be your next game save? Until next time, happy farming.